It's still early out in Cali, baby, don't you wanna rally again? Find a road with no name, lay back in the slow lane. Skies dropping, Jupiter around us like some old train. We'll be rolling down the windows, I bet you we'll catch a nice second wind. We don't have to go home, we can leave the night on. We can leave the night on.
So, today I'm going to do a little video on protein bars. One, because I'm obsessed and protein bars are like my candy. Two, because there's so many of them, so I wanted to give you guys my recommendations, talk about the macros, when you should eat them, the benefits, besides the taste, just why they're great, when they're great, and depending on what your diet and lifestyle is, which ones you should be eating. So if you guys saw in my last video, I did a little protein bar shopping haul. First of all, I want to say protein bars are great, and I have one like every day pretty much. But the best protein bar would actually be like a homemade one. I track macros, so more about the macronutrients than really the ingredients. But so some people who track macros, like maybe they're fine just eating like Pop-Tarts and candy all day to fit their macros, whereas I really like having whole nutritional food. So homemade protein bars are the best for that, because you can just use like whole ingredients and natural ingredients, and whereas protein bars that you buy from the store are usually going to be a bit more processed and not as nutrient dense as if you made protein bars on your own. However, you have to live and you have to eat stuff that you enjoy, and I really enjoy these. They're more convenient. Sometimes the protein bars that you make, like, they have to be refrigerated. I enjoy making protein bars too, and there's some great ones that I can share, but like I said, I just really like these protein bars as well, so that's why I want to share them with you. And they're just convenient to grab and go when you want a snack or a dessert or just something yummy. So here we go. I'm going to start out with a bang. I'll talk about my top 2 favorite protein bars. Quest bars. This was my favorite flavor, chocolate chip cookie dough, and Combat Crunch bars. And Combat Crunch bars, this one is also one of my favorites, which is chocolate chip cookie dough flavor. Clearly we have a pattern going on here. These are my 2 favorite. I can't choose one or the other, it just depends on what I'm craving. I had heard of these before the Combat Crunch bars, so these are my OG bars, as they say. And so these ones are really good. And their texture, well, let me show you. Yes. The texture of the Quest bar is more like a chewy bar. Let's see. And they have chunks. Like, Quest bar is known for their chunks. Like, look at that chunk of chocolate right there. So good. And they're just really delicious. They taste like a dessert, and it's even better, like, if you heat them up, they just become, like, in the microwave for like 10 seconds, they just become gooey and just melty and literally taste like cookie dough to me. Again, I probably have diet tongue, so other people might not think it tastes like cookie dough, but they're just the best. They're so good. And you can also like cut them up and put them in the oven in like little cookie shapes and bake them and make cookies out of them. And you can do, like, Quest Nutrition has a website and like an Instagram where they show all these fun recipes you can do with them, and they're literally delicious. They have so many flavors. Chocolate chip cookie dough is my favorite. I also really like their s'mores bar. Cookies and cream is really good. White chocolate raspberry. They have a bunch and they're delicious. But anyways, I also really like the macros. This bar has one of the best macros. This bar is 190 calories. It has 9 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbs, and 21 grams of protein. So usually protein bars are going to be higher in carbs. And so this one, it's like a moderate carb one. A lot of bars have more carbs than this, and I'll show you a bar later that's actually higher in fat and lower in carbs. If you're out of carb macros for the day, that one would be a better option. But this is kind of your usual macro profile for a protein bar. So anyways, if you're gonna try a Quest bar, I recommend this one. It is the best, and heat it up, it's just so good. You don't even have to heat it up, but I mean, it's just even better. Then on to the Combat Crunch bars. So this one, they're completely different the way they taste. I will show you. So this one's more like a coated bar, so there's chocolate coating on top and like little crispies in it. So That's what that looks like. It's coated with chocolate and it's so good. So whereas the Quest bar was a little more chewy, this one's a little more, it's still chewy but more crunchier because you can see it has like the texture and the crisp. And so if you're a big chocolate fan, this one's delicious because obviously it's covered in chocolate. And it's pretty similar macros to the Quest bar. I think it has a bit more carbs. So yeah, for one bar it's 210 calories, 7 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbs, and 20 grams of protein. So a bit more carbs, but pretty much the same, 210 calories versus 190 calories. And that's kind of the range you want to stick in. You don't want to go much higher than 200 calories for protein bars because I don't use them as a meal replacement. It's usually, I'll have it as a dessert or a snack in the day, and they are very filling because of the protein, so it's great because it's not like you're just eating a candy bar that's not going to fill you up at all. Like, it'll actually keep you full. So I like to eat these usually in my work day around 3 o'clock between my lunch, like after I have lunch, and then before my dinner. So yeah, it's usually my meal between that and around 3. And they're delicious. 2 best ones. I actually got another flavor of this. My other favorite flavor of the Combat Crunch Bar is the Cinnamon Twist. This is one of their most popular ones, is the Cinnamon Twist Bar. And usually I'm like chocolate all the way, which is why I have chocolate chip cookie dough and whatever. But this one's actually really delicious. And it just depends what I'm craving, if I want this one or the chocolate chip cookie dough one. They're both delicious, and this has the same macros as the other one. So this is a good option. So like I said, most bars are higher in carbs and a little lower in fat, most protein bars. However, there is one bar that a lot of people like to eat because it's lower in carbs and carbs higher in fat. The Power Crunch Bar. Power Crunch Bar. So there's a bunch of flavors of these. There's chocolate, salted caramel, chocolate peanut butter, so many, and they're delicious. So this is more like a wafer bar. I'll show you. So this is 205 calories, so again the same calorie range as the other ones, which is good. However, this one has 13 grams of fat as opposed to the others that had about 7 grams of fat. And then it has only 10 grams of carbs as opposed to the others that had about 20 to 25 grams of carbs. And then 13 grams of protein. So a little less protein as well. I believe the others had about 20 grams of protein. But this is a great option if you're lower carb. If you want something desserty. This one's crispy. So if you can see, let me break it. So it's like a wafer bar. It's like those, I don't remember, there's those like wafer things. I don't know, that's exactly what these are. And they're delicious. I also really like to, have Greek yogurt in the nighttime as dessert, and Greek yogurt is really good if you like crunch these up and sprinkle it on top, because it's like, it's a crunchy bar, and so it gives it a nice crunch in your yogurt, and they're delicious. I have to say, of course I said these ones are my favorite, so I crave these ones more often as like a dessert, but I know a lot of people really like the Power Crunch Bar the best. It's just different. Most protein bars are chewy. This is, like I said, a crunchy wafer bar, and they're delicious. And while I was there, I found this. So this isn't really like a protein bar, it's like a chocolate bar with like Crispies inside. So it's 110 calories, 7 grams of fat, 8 grams of carb, and only 5 grams of protein, so it's not actually like a lot of protein, it's more like a dessert. So it's only 110 calories, and I've never tried it, but I've seen it, and it looks good. So look, this is like those, I think they're called crunch bars. Yeah, a crunch bar, you know? Can you see? Like that, and I've never tried it before. So I have to try it for you guys to tell you if it's even good. That's what it tastes like. Those crunch bars that you get in Halloween or whatever. Ooh, so good. This is literally like dessert. Like it's just like a piece of chocolate. Wow. That's good. Ooh. But this one would be more like a dessert. Don't have it as like a protein bar or like a meal, because the nutrition facts I told you are actually, I just saw, per 2 bars. I mean, there's 2 servings per bar, So it is more like a dessert, healthier dessert type option. So Quest protein bars, they also have like protein powders and stuff, but they have these Quest Cravings. These are pretty much like Reese's peanut butter cups, but protein healthified version. So I won't open them. You can see from the picture, they literally look like a Reese's cup. They're pretty big, pretty thick, and they're delicious. So if you're craving a Reese's Pieces or whatever Reese's cup, or you just want candy, have one of these. They're delicious. It is, so for both the cups, if you have both of them and they're pretty big, it's 240 calories, 17 fat, 10 carbs, and 20 protein. So again, this isn't something I would eat like a protein bar as like a snack or something. It would be more like if you want it for dessert, and you can also crumble it on top of your yogurt. It's not something that would really like keep you full throughout the day. It's just more of like, oh man, I want a snack and I want something desserty. This is a great option. And my sister really likes these as well. So they passed the sister test. I don't know. They're delicious. And on the same lines of dessert, Lenny and Larrys Complete Cookie. So I really like these cookies. For the whole cookie, I'll show you how big it is. Look, it's a great size cookie. This one's Snickerdoodle. So for this whole cookie, it is 180 calories, 4 grams of fat, 27 grams of carb, and 8 protein. So again, this isn't like a protein bar. It's more just like a protein cookie, a healthified cookie. So it is a little higher carbs and then a little less protein. So again, this isn't something that you'd eat to get full. It's something like, hey, I'm craving a cookie, but I don't want all the cookie calories. Get one of these, and they're so good. Like, tastes like Snickerdoodle. Peanuts, whole grain brown rice, then dark chocolate, oats, and sea salt, almonds. So it's not like they have like sucralose or like an artificial sugar like that in it. And they're delicious too. So they're, let me show you, coated higher in fat because it is like a nut butter based one. So it's 230 calories, 11 grams of fat, 21 grams of carbs, and 13 protein. So it's not as high in the protein, but it's still a really great option. And I also like putting this one on yogurt sometimes. So they look like this, and they're a little more chewy as well. This is the inside. And they're great, and I really recommend them because I'm an advocate of like whole foods. I don't really like the artificial stuff very much. Like, I'd rather put better foods into my body, but again, these bars are delicious, so I eat them. But these ones, if you really want to stay whole, I would recommend these ones. Oh, again, with the whole, the more natural bar, like the square bar, is the Kind bar. So this one, it's pretty much just nuts. And so this one's higher fat because it is nut-based bar. So 200 calories, 16 grams of fat, so that has the most fat out of all these bars. 15 grams of carbs and 6 protein, so not that high in protein. But again, it is more of a whole nutrition-based bar because it's nuts. So this one's great, but again, it's higher in fat, so just be wary. It's not my first go-to bar because I like bars because they taste like desserty. But if I had to choose, this caramel one would be the best because I really like caramel. They also have like a dark chocolate sea salt one, which is delicious. And I really like their bar that I forgot to get that I also really like and is more of a whole food bar is Lara bars. So literally the only ingredients in Lara bar, like depending on the flavor, it's dates, nuts, and like if it's a chocolate flavor, there's like dark chocolate or something. So that's great because it's literally, you're just putting in whole foods into your body. His favorite bar. Her favorite. And lastly, if you're looking for a lower calorie bar, are Think Thin bars. I really like Think Thin bars, but you have to look. So this one, 50 calories. So this is the lowest calorie bar that I've showed you guys. Only 5 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of protein. However, it depends on the flavor. There are some bars, some Think Thin bars that are more like 240 calories, so they can be on the higher range. But they do have a lot of options that are the slower calorie one. It's just the salt I'm a big caramel person, as you've seen with a few of these bars, and so the salted caramel flavor is delicious. And again, this is just good if you need like a low-calorie snack, if in between meals something holds you over. This one is great. They have so many options, chocolate options, peanut butter, just everything. They're delicious. That's it. This is the protein bar graveyard. If you see all of those, they're not going to go to waste, so they'll probably be eaten soon. They're delicious. Those are my recommendations. If you have any questions on the bars, let me know. Really big benefit of the Quest bar is it's high in fiber too, which is great because you need fiber for your digestion and get everything moving. So that's great for you, and so that's another. They're just easy to grab. If you're traveling, they're easy to bring and fit into your macros. So yeah, depending on what works, what your macro range is or what works for you. If you're higher fat, maybe you prefer the Power Crunch bars. If you have higher carbs, lower fat, maybe the Quest bars and the Combat Crunch bars would be good for you. But they're delicious, and there's so many different varieties, so I just want to do a little video on them because I know I talk about protein bars a lot and I'm obsessed, and it was a good excuse for me to go buy some because I was running low, of course. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. Oh, I won't talk about this one. Okay, thanks. So, see you in the next one.